Hello, Corax and coffee fans and board gaming fans in general. You know what? Before I continue, I'm actually going to put down this woodcutter's axe, and it is not cold like in the Northlands. It is actually close to 90 degrees here. It is still September, so I'm going to get rid of this little fleecy fleece thing here too, and let you know that I'm also in badly need of a haircut because we're still in the pandemic. None of that matters. What does matter is today we're going to be taking a look at Northgard, Uncharted Lands, which is a digital to board game port of Northgard, Uncharted Lands by Studio H. And I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing, so maybe I'm just going to tell you what you're thinking or tell you what to think, and you can agree or disagree. But why, oh why, do we need another digital to analog port just to capitalize on an IP? Well, if you like 4X games, if you like modularity, if you like colorful plastic bits and tight rules mechanics and deck building and cards and playing cards to move little bits and pieces on a modular board with tiles that you can flip over and have cool little roads and stuff, Northgard might be the game for you. So, let's go to the table and see what's in this box.
All right, here's the Northgard Uncharted Lands base game. And we got some nice pictures in the back and a contents list. Let's open this up. And, all right, standard box top. And we're hit with rules right away. We've got an illustrated itemized components list. And game setup, deck building, gameplay, whole bunch of gameplay steps, anatomy of a card, actions, lots of nice illustrations. Explore action, going through different actions. Combat, with lots of illustrations. End of the game and winner. And model creatures, components. Some additional rules here. And that is it. And then creature details on page 24. So, a lot of pictures, but this is going to take you more than 15 minutes to get through. But I don't know if it's a quality rulebook yet, but it's got a lot of illustrations. Looks like a lot of examples. So hopefully. Next up, we are hit with a very, very thick punch board. So we punch some of these things out here. These punch out fairly easily, but because the punch board is so thick, I'll hold up some of these things so you can see. It takes a little bit more force to punch these out. Yes, like 1/2 or double thick punch board components. Hopefully the cardboard doesn't separate. I really like thick components, but sometimes the layers of cardboard that are pressed together separate in the middle with extra thick components. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But these are very nice cardboard components to hold. And then we have, looks like some sort of season or round or point tracker of some type, double-sided, and on one side it goes up to 7 for a shorter game, relatively speaking, and the other side is 1 through 10 for I assume longer game. I don't know if that is impacted by player counts or whatnot, but there you go. And actually, I'll bring back this punch board that I just punched out of so you can take a look at more. We have a whole bunch of different building types, it looks like, and it is double-sided in terms of the printing. And then we are hit with another punch board, and this is a thinner punch board, kind of more standard thickness. But you see different resources, it looks like, apples, probably food, and wood for lumber, and some other things. And then a whole bunch of these crown things, and these are, you have numbers here on the back, so it's like single unit and then 5s and different crown numbers for scoring of one type or another. Now we're hit with a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, let's do some dice. So, you get 2 of these dice. I assume they are the same because it'd be really confusing if they were different because they look identical. So, we have a hatchet and a skull on one side, hatchet/skull, hatchet times 2, hatchet times 2 and a skull, hatchet times 3, and 2 skulls. So every side is different, it looks like, but there are no blank sides. And then we have 2 decks of cards, which we'll get to later. We have, let's do this. This is the modular game board. Put this aside for 1 second. And yes, so, okay. On some of the modular tiles, you have this Northgard symbol, but you have this lighter background, and then this one here, you have this darker background. So let's just see, kind of sift through each of these. This is still the same. Yeah, so it looks like this is the only tile that has this kind of darker background. So on the front, you have this kind of crossroads pattern. So I kind of assume this is the starting tile. I'm gonna guess, could be totally wrong, but that's kind of what it seems. And then if we look at some of these other tiles, we've got some iconography here, places for different elements and roads, more iconography. Go through all these real quick. You can see them. Different terrain, trees types. So you got some really nice artwork differences there. So I got this stone cave and this bear paw. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so it looks like the same, not quite. You have this cave and bear paw, but yeah, if you'll notice, much of the other printing, the stones on the trees, are actually quite different. So there's a lot of variation in the artwork, and obviously there are differences in the roads here. So I don't know if there'll be any repeats of the printing of the backgrounds or not. Some of these are quite similar. Yeah, it looks like these, in terms of the background, are the same. Yeah, but as you can see, this one has roads, this one does not, and they each have a wood, but the placement for different tokens is different. So they are different tiles. So it looks like you have some repeats, but still a lot of variation in your different game board tiles. It's really nice. Yeah, some of these are familiar in terms of the background, so we've seen some of this stuff before. This one, and then you've got some combined stuff. We've seen this background, but the cave was down here before, and now it's up here with this bear paw. So they're definitely trying to be economic with their artwork, but also providing a lot of variation and nuance. It was really well done. I have not laid it all out, obviously, but just looking at these individual tiles.
I like this axe. I'm not showing you this axe for any particular reason other than there are pictures of axes in the game of Northgard, and I had this axe, and so I didn't have to buy a prop specifically for this unboxing video to connect these little bits thematically to the game itself. So that worked out well. I've had this axe for 30, 40 years. I'm not 40, but anyway, don't worry about that. I used to split wood out in the backyard with this axe years ago, and I was busting my hump until I realized this is not the right tool for splitting wood. You really want a wedge and a splitting maul and things like that, and then splitting wood got easier once I discovered that. But like I said, this axe is not specifically what I want to call your attention to. What I want to call your attention to is these modular game tiles. They do use some art over and over again on tiles, but there's still so much variation in the art they use. There are these slight variations on the game specific art, games mechanic specific art, such as these roads and little places where you put tiles, and the aesthetic art down below. But also, these tiles, when you put them together, so many times when you're creating a modular board on your table, the pieces, that one slipped right out of my hands. The pieces slip and slide. But with these pieces, they each have these edges here, and they work any way you rotate them. So your game board does not fall apart as you move your dudes on the map that you create all over it. It doesn't work perfectly in Northgard, but it actually works pretty well, and these pictures again are so beautiful. So I'm actually very, very, very happy with these components, and hopefully you will be too.
So, getting back to this box here, we've done the dice. Let's take a look at some of these minis, and it looks like we have 2 of these bears, which are in slightly different plastic hues, kind of darker and lighter. I don't know if there's a difference there or not, but it's a little bit annoying to me that those plastic hues are different, because it's either unintentional, in which case that's just sloppy, or it is intentional, in which case, just dropped it, in which case there's not nearly enough differentiation to tell them apart easily. So unless there's some other reason, which is not one of those two, which is a good reason, maybe have to read the rules, but those 2 reasons I mentioned are both bad. So minor complaint, but there it is. And we have this wolf here. And then we have the same issue here with these 2. So because it's, again, I mean, because you have the different colors of plastic on these 2 models as well, that makes me think it's probably more intentional, but certainly doesn't prove it, because maybe you just had different plastic print runs in the same box. I really shouldn't complain about this until I know more of the cause or reason for it, but just beware. You have the same 2 here. There could be an entirely legitimate reason that maybe some of you already know, and I don't, because I did not read the rules ahead of time as a PDF or whatever. I'm trying not to do that, because I like unboxing stuff fresh. Have that sense of wonder and amazement. All right, and we have the same one in this other color. Now, let's pull out these and check under here. There is nothing there. So what we're left with is this stuff, these 2 decks of cards. So let's take a look at these. I'm just going to move these cards back out of the way. And we're just going to put these plastic dudes everywhere. All right, so I think these sculpts are different between the 2 bags I just dumped out. Yeah, so you have these green guys, right? One with a axe down in front and one behind his head. And the shields are in different places. Flip these over. Yeah, these are, for little dudes that you move around, these are just fine, no problem. And then, you have the same thing for the blue. And for the red, so it's the same molds in 5 different colors. Green, blue, red, yellow, purple. I will hold them all up just so you can see them a little bit more clearly. But yeah, these are going to be fun to play with. Which one have I not done yellow yet? That's what I'm going to go with. All right. So a whole bunch of those. I'm going to have fun sorting those back out in their 2 different bags, if they need to be. It's actually probably better to sort them by color, honestly. Those are going everywhere. That's fine. Okay. So now we have these 2 decks of cards. Chuck this plastic real quick, and we're back. All right, so this deck here, I'll go through these things. Okay, yeah, I just want to get to the end here because we do have 5 player aid cards that's printed on both sides. So I'm going to hold up one side of each so you can see the player aid, both sides of the player aid card that you will get. Phases of a year here. Clan powers, and there's 7 different clans it looks like. All right. And I kind of just tell. So this deck of cards has the the Northgard symbol on the back on all these cards. So I'll get to those in a second. And these cards, some have this red back and symbol. Some we have some. Okay, and all these are the same. So these ones are different for some reason. So we have some. Okay, so we'll figure out what these are. So these are the yellow-backed cards, and there are 7 of them. I assume 1 for each of the 7 clans. And so we have a builder. Gain 1 crown per small building and 3 crowns per large building you control. And then we have a crown question mark down here. Explorer. Gain 1 crown per empty small space and 3 crown per empty large space in your territories. Food Trader. Gain 2 crowns for each apple on your territories, including buildings. Scholar. Gain 2 crowns for each gray icon on your territories, including buildings. Trapper. Gain 3 crowns per creature's lair in your territories. Warlord. Gain 1 crown per unit in your territories. Wood Trader, should be the last one. Gain 2 crowns for each wood on your territories, including buildings. And then we're back to Builder. And then we have 8 of these red cards. So we have Brown Bear with a bunch of iconography. Oh, multiple brown bears. 2 brown bears, it looks like. Okay, so there are 2 brown bears that are the same. And then we have 2 Draugr that are the same, it looks like. And then we have 2 Fallen Valkyries. Okay, it looks like we have 9 of these rather than 8. Miscounted here. And we have 3 wolves. So, not sure what's going on there. But I really do like the artwork on these cards. I like the feel of these cards. They are very nice. I will sleeve these for sure. These are standard. These seem standard size cards. Actually, I'm not convinced of that. These cards might be slightly. I should have gotten sleeves around. Actually, stand by. I'm going to go grab a sleeve. Why I don't have sleeves next to me during every unboxing is beyond me. Well, now. Yes, so yeah, these cards are not standard size. They are close, but they are a little bit wider and, yeah, definitely taller. Once I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, these are definitely not standard size, and in fact, they are not. So they're going to be really tricky to sleeve, which is kind of annoying because they're only slightly larger, and I'm not sure there was any need for that, but they do look oh so very pretty. So we have some recruits here. In different plan colors, some explore cards with some iconography, some move cards. These kind of seem like basic cards for the deck building. Some build cards, some feast cards in different colors. So yeah, 2 of these. So I assume these are. It really seems like these are like base cards for your deck building. And then we have some Wolf Clan Called War. A bunch of different cards here. Just kind of cycle through these real quick. You get an idea, you can pause. if you want to see more of this. And then Bodyguard and Feast and Future Sight, Improve Villager Tools, Intimidate, Black Marketplace, Mercenary, Merchant, Militia, Negotiation. This cartoon artwork is really cool. This actually kind of reminds me of the, what was the name of that village in Fable, in the first Fable game, aka Fable. Doesn't matter where you fight the wolves and whatnot near the arena. You know, it's just kind of standard fantasy trope house. I was a big fan of Fable back in the day, despite all of its flaws. I know I'm dating myself there. Xbox, like the first Xbox, aka Xbox, was what that ran on. Almost 20 years ago. Blah, blah, blah. Lore Mastery. Lore Masters, Outpost, Rangers. I do like this cartoon low fantasy artwork. I'm a fan. I am a fan. Coming to the end here. Unrest. Lots of unrests. All right, I think we're going to end on unrest. Sign of the times. All right. And that is everything that comes in the base game of Northgard.
So I still have some cardboard punchboard punching to do, but not too bad, just these two boards, before I can actually play Northgard, Uncharted Lands, the board game. I hope you did enjoy this unboxing video. I had a heck of a lot of fun looking at all of the different cartoon fantasy card artwork and things like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about this game. I wish I could say more at this point, but I have not played the original, aka digital, version of this game yet. So hopefully at some point we'll do a little bit of a comparison of one type or another there. At the very least, I am excited to play this game and review it in more detail in the future on Corax and Coffee. But until that point, do check out our other content, check out our website, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave comments, check out our merch store, do all of the things. Just email us, say hi, see if you want to collaborate with us. We're friendly, we don't bite, and we don't swing our axes except to chop wood badly. I'm Pete Steele. Take care, all.